Why make scripted content when I can just rant about how much I don't like Endwalker? This gets way more views! I was an idiot, why didn't I just do this before? Okay guys, Mom said it's my turn now. It's my turn to hate on Final Fantasy XIV.
Dungeons in Final Fantasy XIV are fairly straightforward, and they all follow the same formula. Add pull, boss, add pull, boss. Even the dungeons that try to break from that mold are the exact same, but you gotta pick up a key along the way. Like Hake Manor.
Hello. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hello there. Hi there. Hello. Okay. Apparently you cannot marry the cat girl. That seems to be a, that's a non-starter there. Let's go over here, see if there's anything special over here. Seems like there's really nothing interesting over there. Just trying to double check.
I think this flaw with the dungeon design has been exacerbated by the trust system. Some dungeon changes have been pretty good, like removing the sticky floors in Thousand Moss and simplifying the second boss of Copperbell. Some of them, not so much. While my problem with the dungeon design is mostly with the sameness of the overall dungeon, some of the interactions inside the bosses have been dumbed down. Keeper of the Lake is a really good example of this. The first boss used to drop bombs that you had to interact with, pushing them away to create a safe area, similar to how the Brayflock's hard mode final boss has. And when you get to Midgard Stormer, he's been incredibly simplified to nothing but dodge mechanics. It used to be multiple dragons that he would summon that had different mechanics that you had to interact with and deal with, that you had to DPS down, and they added depth to the fight. And then a drone would drop down at the end of a DPS check, and you'd have to activate it in order to survive the main boss attack. In fact, all of the Great Worms have had their fight simplified. Nidhogg used to have a Stynian in the middle of the fight that needed to be healed and protected, which added depth to the fight, and an additional mechanic for healers. And it made sense thematically. The entire dungeon, a Stynian is fighting Nidhogg alone until you get to him. Hraesvelgur's arena, it used to be amazing. It used to function similar to the Hullbreaker Isle boss, with different platforms you had to jump between. There were 2 different ads that functioned differently, that thematically they were based on Hraesvelgur and Shiva, an ice crystal enemy, and dragon heads. The fight felt epic, and now it just feels very generic. He has a half-room cleave, Ockmorn, Tank Buster, and Puddles, and it's very generic.
And this repetition of reusing old mechanics over and over on top of a non-changing gameplay formula leads to apathy.
The bosses being simple isn't even my main problem with the dungeon design right now. but it has gotten simpler over the years to make way for the trust system. and I just wanted to talk about that for a second. The real changes I feel need to happen need to take place in the ad phases. We need some mechanics or variants to them, like variant dungeon. That's why I use the word variants. I would be very happy if variant dungeons became the new MSQ. We could even have Criterion take the place of what the original hard modes were supposed to be, but where you visited an old familiar place with new gear, new bosses, it felt new, and it was difficult, and it was supposed to be that, and you can add better gear, right? Something like that would be great. Now, speeding up the NPC in these dungeons would of course be necessary, since, I mean, speedrunning is the only thing people use dungeons for now. They do leveling roulette, and they want to be out in 10 seconds. But different paths with different ads and different bosses could really keep the game feeling fresh. I would also really like if these dungeons had optional routes that maybe took longer, but gave more experience, gave extra chest rewards for people running them for glamour or to level up. And let's say these side routes, you have a side route that dead ends into an optional boss. That would be amazing. And you could just ignore that side route if you didn't want to. A good example of just this was the original design of Brayflocks. I know some people didn't like Brayflocks for some reason, but it had little side areas where you could go to get chests, or you could ignore them. There was even a special chest hidden behind a coral that dropped a unique ring. That was amazing. That was when you think about it in that regard, that's a really cool game design, and it's gone now. It's a tightrope, and I don't blame the devs for how they've balanced it so far. In fact, making the dungeons more accessible is a necessity to the game. I just wish there was more to them, so I didn't just shut my brain off anytime I do leveling roulette. I feel like this is also potentially an answer to all the fucking doomers out there, right? You want mid-core content.
I gotta sing the Doom song now. Doom, 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 doom.
If we have Criterion out there as more of a mid-core section to get mid-core gear, right? Something akin to extreme trials weapons, but as gear, and you have a more difficult dungeon design, I feel like that would be great. So that's my rant. Kind of what I wanted to talk about. It's a problem I felt that there's been with the game, and I've been kind of talking about how much I love the game and it's great, and that's good. But I felt like it was time that I put out a video about something I wish could change. So, like, subscribe, comment if you liked it. Let me know how you like these videos. Do you want me to like do something different than recording on my lunch break, right in the woods? And hit me up on stream. We're gonna be doing. We're still doing. I still haven't passed Savage, but I try and do Savage party finders quite often. I'm gonna be doing the new Criterion because I really want the weapon upgrade. So hit me up on stream and we can do some stuff together. And until then, I'll see you guys.